Hi, I'm Ging.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Pao.
And you're listening to the 1% Marites here in Sydney, your number one source of chismis, word spreading.
Do you know what day it is today?
Think it has something to do with being a female.
Yeah. So what are we celebrating without, giving too much away? We're wearing pink, white, and purple.
Yep.
Yeah, and a very plunging neckline.
It's very
Yeah.
daring.
A
I
very
like it.
daring for a daring me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I like the color. Look.
Yeah.
If you look at the camera, oh my
Oh, it's
God, we're
very
all
nice.
blending. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
And this day is
It's International Women's Day.
yes. Happy International Women's Day to all of the ladies out there and to us.
To us,
Yeah.
yes, let's
To
celebrate
us young ladies here.
Young, did you say? Young?
Yeah.
Young.
And beautifuls with an S. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Oh, so who do we have here today?
Wow. Okay. Are you guys excited?
I'm
To
excited.
meet our guest. Okay. We have a truly inspiring guest joining us today. So, a passionate and driven individual currently pursuing a Bachelor of Commerce with a double major, is deeply committed to community and leadership, actively contributing to various organizations at her university. She serves as the Director of People for the Filipino Student Society, manages the well-being page of Jolly, I was about to say Jollibee. Okay. Secretary for Venice, where she skillfully handles their social media outreach. As a dynamic Korean-Filipino business student, aspired to become an entrepreneur with the vision of inspiring and empowering other women like herself. Through her involvement in creating a meaningful impact within her community. So without further ado, let's welcome Amy! Yay!
안녕하세요.
Wow, Korean, Filipino.
She spoke Tagalog.
Yeah.
So you know a few Tagalog words.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
What else do you know?
But I don't think I can say it.
Yeah. I love the Korean community.
Yeah. So when I found out about Amy and when she told me that she's Korean Filipino, born in Australia, I was like, what? I've never met anyone like you.
True.
And I would have expected that she would say, yes, I know Tagalog. And then when she said, I know Korean, I can speak English, but not Tagalog, I was like, oh, no. Yeah. But look, I think for me, it's gonna be her on the spotlight today. So I just said today, look, I mean, it's gonna be a new experience for you, right? Because this is your first time guesting on a podcast, and similarly for us, we have never done an episode where we mainly spoke in English. So humanda na kayo, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dugo ilong ko dito.
Yes.
Dugo ilong.
Yes.
Pero we're gonna. I was telling Amy that we'll try our best to just translate some of the words for her. Pao is very good.
Thank you.
She was actually doing that as a
very good
part-time
at-
job.
Part-time job.
Translator.
Since we are actually celebrating the International Women's Day today, our discussion would be all around, empowering women and, just to celebrate it. So, and we have Amy today here to share some of those, experiences on being a woman, and yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
English for 2 minutes. Oh my God, I cannot.
Yeah, there's like limited English words we can say in a day.
I have
Thank you
to-
so
Oh
much
my.
for having me here
Of course.
on your
Okay.
podcast. Really
Welcome,
appreciate
Amy. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just actually got interviewed as well for Women's Day. I just want to share it with you guys. I got the opportunity to speak for International Women's Day, sharing about my experience, sharing about, my what I've done at work. Like it's kind of like reflecting. It's just, fun to share with other coworkers and inspire them. Just giving you a background, Amy, like what I do at work is kind of like manly job. So I operate machines. The women, I don't actually it didn't stop me to work in that kind of industry where there's a lot of or majority male. Oh, so yeah, I just want to share it with her, just giving her a little bit of background of me because first time to meet in person.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Maybe let's share about like introduce us to Amy, share about a
Yes,
little bit of
please.
background, what we do, and
Yeah, I'll do the quick version. Yeah, so I think for me, all my life I've always wanted to do something to give back. Because we all have full-time jobs, right? Like we all want to have a career, but sometimes when things are really going well in your career, you start to realize that maybe there is something more that I want to do. So like I did the traditional typical, Asian like traditional family, like what they expect from you. Like you go to school, after that you go to university, and then after that you go look for a good job and you get paid and you go get a mortgage, and that's pretty much life for me for the first 30 years, I would say.
Oh, so how old are you now?
My math. I'm doing my math.
Well, it's International Women's Day, so I'm gonna be loud and proud about my age.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and so outside of work, I podcast. I'm also a health and fitness advocate. I am also a community founder like yourself. So I started Rice PH last year, and I'm also a career mentor for Headspace. Yes, and there's a bunch of other things I'd share, but I think for me, what's really inspiring for me right now is just hearing from a young person like you, because I didn't have that drive. I didn't have opportunities to show leadership when I was at your age, when I was in uni. I was just too busy surviving, trying to like
Party.
Oh yeah, party. I was too busy trying to prove myself to the world, and it's only really recently that I discovered what else I'm actually passionate about outside of work. So, and what about you, Pao?
I'm sorry.
A quick download of what you do and what you love doing with your spare time.
Well, what I do is I work at a corporate 5 times a week, and then also have a part-time job during the weekends. So, yeah, and also a fitness enthusiast since 2000 and something. Yeah. So, I just love hanging around people who I resonate with. There are 2 female in the family, just a bit of a background about myself. But my sister is more on the academic side, and I got the being a sporty from my dad. And even, all of my cousins who stays at our house are all male. I still kept up with them. So whenever they play basketball, whenever they play taekwondo, I join them. So I think that's something about me that doesn't stop me being, 'cause you're a female, you can't do that. You shouldn't be doing basketball. You should be doing chess or whatever.
Playing
It doesn't
golf.
involve physical, strength. But no, it doesn't stop me to do the things that I love to do. Just because I'm a woman. It's because I am a woman. That's why I can do things. Yeah.
Wow.
That's just
Yeah,
something
I love your
kinda
TED
like-
talk. So great.
I kind of like the same
Pao
with
talk.
you. Yeah. So let's hear from Amy. So Amy, do you want to share a little bit about your background and what do you do, outside work or outside university? Like you said, you're studying double degree or major. So yeah, share about a little bit of.
So my name is Amy. I currently am studying commerce. Aside from the studying wise, I also love like being creative and like crocheting. I also have like a crocheting flower business, like a little side hustle. That sort of inspired me to become like an entrepreneur in the future. And I know last time you guys had Rona previously,
Yeah.
so make sure to watch that.
I love that episode.
Also, I also love being like active, like as you guys. I go to the gym too, and I did jujitsu also. And I guess that by doing those sports, I can relate to your story. How there are some like stereotypes that women should like, I don't know, like be in the kitchen or like or do something peaceful or like something that isn't like outdoorsy. And yeah, so I can truly relate to your guys' situation and your stories, like a little bit a part of me. When you guys said your stories is resonate with me a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for introducing and telling your guys' stories. And yeah.
Yeah. So because we're celebrating International Women's Day, what does International Women's Day mean to you? And how has your connection to this event, because we celebrate it every year, how has your connection to it changed over time? Like as you became more aware of the challenges and struggles we face as women?
So I actually went to a girls' high school, and when you invited me to your podcast, I was like, oh wow, I'm actually representing also my high school and like my friends that are that graduated from there. And actually, it's co-ed now, but when I was there, it was everyone was like a woman, and I was sort of like I was inspired by how I was surrounded by the future of women. And International Women's Day was a really significant event for all of us there. However, I am guilty of not celebrating it now as much, but being on this podcast, it sort of shows the significance, how it's important to reflect on this day, like we are doing right now, because it's International Women's Day today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I think we're all guilty of that because life gets really busy. And when you hear events like this where, you know, you get to commemorate, right? How many days in the calendar where we celebrate, like, oh, it's your Mother's Day, Father's Day, you know, your dog's day or something, donut day.
And we're celebrating like two holidays, Philippine holiday and then Australian holiday now.
Yeah,
You know.
and I feel like sometimes we forget how important it is because we actually grew up pretty privileged. Yeah. When I hear about International Women's Day, which this dates back in the early 1900s when they first realized that women should have the right to vote. I'm talking like what, 1908, 1909?
Yeah, 19.
We never had to fight for that right. It was just given to us. It just became your birthright because there has been so many progress at the day and age that we were born. So yeah, I'm so guilty of that. I don't think that's just you.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to hear if how have you been celebrating that at work or in your community? Is it actually something that mattered to you before this year?
Well, for me, I don't actually know that 8th of March is the International Women's Day, but regarding celebrating being a woman, I think I've been doing that a lot lately.
It's like every day, every day.
You know, I'm just grateful for being me. You know, at my age, I can still do things that I'm doing right now. And, you know, there are stuff that I don't know that I can do right now or I'd be able to do. And I'm just, you know, happy being a woman
Yeah.
at this day and, you know.
Yeah, that's
age.
great. Like it's like what you're saying is like you don't have to wait until every 8th of March
Yeah,
every year to
true.
celebrate who you
Exactly.
are
Yeah.
and what you can do and your
Yeah.
achievements. Yeah, great. What about you? I think you kind of mentioned it earlier that they actually had a film crew to
Yeah.
capture her story, and she shared about her
Yeah.
journey. What was it like when the whole company saw the video and there you were? I think you were getting lots of messages and emails.
Yeah, true. I was like, oh my god,
Look
I
at a
was
superstar.
touched actually. Like when I like read the messages, like because I wasn't there yesterday, so they messaging me like, oh Mary, you did a great job, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's something that I didn't actually um see that I will be able to share my story at work and what I do at work. Because for me, I look at it as like, oh, there's nothing to be celebrated, you know? Like I'm just working, you know, like it's for me it's like normal.
Doing your stuff.
Yeah. It's doing like 8 hours job, doing what the company asked me to do. So it's kind of like that for me. But now I realize that not everyone actually see that their story could inspire people or ladies that wants to work in that kind of industry, like driving a forklift. You are running the machine. You thought that you won't be able to do it because you're female. So because some women, like, they scared, right, to, oh, I want to do it, but they scared to do it because they thought that they're gonna be judged. It's a kind of like stereotype, right? Like, oh, it's male's job, like I don't want to do it. It's kind of like limiting beliefs, right?
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, for me, I had to share that with the people in the company or outside the company, that they can actually work for that kind of industry even though they're female.
Yeah. And
So,
you've
yeah,
got to send us the link. I want to see that video.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I'll post it.
Yeah,
In the
we've
circle.
got to post it.
and for me, it's kind of like Pao said, you gotta celebrate it every single day, not just like every year you celebrate Women's Day. It's every year. We do a lot of things, right? Your mom, your auntie, your sister, they're
Yeah.
doing a lot of things, and it's something that you have to celebrate it every day.
Yeah, preach,
right.
girl.
You know.
Yeah, and I think for you, Amy, as in because you're still at university, and I think you mentioned that you're transitioning to a more like maybe a part-time or more permanent work in the short term. What are some of the issues or challenges that you think are being faced by women your age or those that are just starting out in life? Because when you're at university, I think you're kind of just like experimenting with what you like, what you don't like. You're still in that phase where you're trying to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
So for you, what are those issues or challenges that you've experienced firsthand?
Well, I think that we have this unconscious mindset of like the gender inequality that we have like in a workplace. Because this issue is like so ingrained for like decades of seeing women as like gender inequality in a workplace, and it's hard for people to sort of so we have different issues with sort of like gender, like with gender pay. There's a gap between
I've heard this.
male and female pay.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
Like,
it
at
is.
this
Still a
time
thing,
and age?
yeah.
Oh.
And it really also depends on what country, because especially in developing countries, it's very hard to sort of achieve gender equality in like a work environment. And we always see like the issues of inequality, and it's so ingrained that sometimes it's it's an unconscious mindset of like stereotyping women in a work environment. So that's sort of what
Yeah.
I think on.
Was that something that you also experienced, and how did you like navigate through that, knowing that it's been an issue for quite a long time?
Um, I would say that I'm quite fortunate of being surrounded by like well educated individuals on issues like this. I wouldn't say that I've experienced a lot of different challenges compared to other people from like experiencing in a less educated environment, because I feel that education is really important on like people, because some people aren't aware of gender inequality or like a pay gap. They might not even know that they're getting less than like a male, but because of education, it really helps on being aware of the situation that like sort of I'm in, because I would say that I am educated on issues like this, and I am aware of it. So it's, and I am grateful for it. So it's sort of diverts me and from the challenges that I faced in like a work environment.
Yeah. Have you experienced
about-
that
yeah, what
gender pay gap?
What about you?
Not really gender pay gap. I think it's
Do you
more
really feel it?
Or unless we're not just aware of it.
not the equality side on gender, but it's more of like maybe the race.
Yeah,
Equality.
so that
Something
actually
like that. Yeah, yeah. It happened to me just a few months ago.
Yeah, so it's like when you're having a conversation with a male colleague and he's your peer, meaning to say you're actually doing the same job and you find out that he's getting paid more. But how is that fair if you guys are actually doing the same job?
I actually haven't really experienced.
That's a
the-
very
the
sorry,
pay.
that's a very simplistic example. Of,
Yeah, yeah. About the pay, I haven't experienced that per se, but I can say that there is an inequality that I've experienced in the past, wherein if a woman makes a mistake, both of you guys, a man and a woman, is doing the same thing, okay? So it's something like if a woman makes a mistake, it's really a big deal because, you're a woman, you should be able to, do everything at the same time, multitasking.
This is at work?
And all. Yeah, at
yeah,
work.
yeah, corporate
But,
setting.
not the same thing when a guy or a man does the same mistake. It's like, that's all right, and yeah, it's something like they just dismiss because you're a guy, but if you're
Or
a
they
woman,
brush it off.
yeah, something like that. Or I don't know, maybe they're just buddies.
Maybe for me, it depends how you look at it. And maybe I think I'm aware of like men's are getting, they get paid more than what we get. I don't want to think about like it's unfair, because I think you can actually work on it and get through that or past that moment that, oh, I'm getting less. But if you work hard for it, you'll get it.
Is it because of tenurity? Like they were working there for like
For a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe yes, but I don't. Yeah, like I said, like it depends how you look at it. Because
Yeah.
if you're being negative, like, oh, because I'm women, like I'm not getting paid that much. But I believe, because I did it to myself. Like I work hard to get to that level. You know that, oh, I want to get the same money.
how you control your mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, in a work setting, it also depends on how clear and aggressive you are with driving your career aspirations. Because some women aren't as empowered to have a salary negotiation conversation.
Yeah, maybe,
Typically,
yeah.
men even though they're not 100% ready for the promotion, or even if they can't justify all the details why they deserve a raise, they are still willing to have that conversation with their boss. Whereas with women, no, we need to be 100% sure
Or
before we
maybe
even open up the conversation, right?
yeah, maybe
There's
because
a confidence
sometimes-
thing, or do I deserve it? What are they gonna think of me? With men, they're like, actually, you know what? I'm getting married next year. I need to be thinking about how to set up my family, how I can afford a mortgage. And they're like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna talk to my boss about it.
Correct. Yeah.
Whereas we overthink every single
Exactly.
detail.
I was about to say.
We overthink everything.
So it's not nature.
We're like
women's
a tree.
nature.
Men and women were like a tree. So men are like the trunk, and then we are the branches. You know what I mean. But like it's like we do tend to overthink things. Like maybe it can be taken against me if I ask my boss for a raise. Maybe they would ask a lot of questions. While men we're just being men.
Yeah. It's just the wiring. I think the wiring is different. And I think that's why, going back to Amy, you mentioned that you're pretty fortunate that you're surrounded by people that supported you.
Yeah.
So one example would be, say, you have someone at work that you can really call as a mentor or as a sponsor, because there's a difference, like with mentors. And I think we had this conversation with Rona, or maybe it was through my one-on-one with her. She said to me, you have a mentor that actually shows you the way.
Yeah.
They give you the 10 steps to be successful to get to where they are. And then you have a sponsor where they are sort of moving behind the scenes on your behalf, opening doors for you. That's basically how it works in the work setting. So
Yeah,
is that
true.
something that you've experienced, where you actually have both like a mentor and maybe like a sponsor? That maybe sponsor is a very formal word, but you just have people, whether they're male or female, that are willing to actually open
Invest
doors for
or
you and
invest
invest,
for you.
yeah, invest in you so that you can grow and develop.
Well, I would say the Filipino society, especially, they gave me like a lot of opportunities, even like being on this podcast, celebrating International Women's Day. And also, I would say a figure that I really look up to is my mother. I know that's like a very cliche answer, but she came here to Australia not knowing the language at all, starting a new life, and she really didn't know anyone here. So, but she's a really hard worker, and that's sort of like the woman characteristic I would say that every woman has, being a hard worker. So not only was she a good mother to me, but she worked hard to like speak the language here and also have like a successful career here. So I think every woman is very capable of doing that here.
Yeah.
Really inspiring.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I can resonate with no, with her story. I'm not crying. I'm just
I'm not crying. I'm just like, I feel like a little.
it's just yeah, I think I can resonate because it's the same as my mom. She came in Australia by herself without knowing anyone here, without knowing the language. Like she couldn't even speak a single word, But she chose to be here for her children because she's a single parent of 6 children. So my mom, she really inspires me.
Yeah,
as
she's
well.
a rock star
And a
your
hard
mom.
worker.
Hard
Yeah,
worker.
exactly. Even now, she just doesn't want to stop.
She's 75, but she never stopped.
She's
She just
doing
like do
something.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us, our mom is
Yeah, I think mom is like everybody's hero
Yeah.
or shiro.
hero.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I like
yeah,
that word.
yeah, because when we talk about role models, we think that it's got to be a big celebrity
Yeah.
or it's got to be like a billionaire women entrepreneur, but sometimes it starts at home. Like who showed you or who gave you or who shaped your definition of what it's like to be strong and what it means to be a leader. Because actually, with women, you know how traditional moms, their role is to actually raise the kids, to be the person cooking, preparing meals, going, sending the children to school. They're actually the leaders at home while the dad goes away for the day to work, right? So the female role, I think sometimes we tend to underestimate and downplay their role and the impact they have on actually establishing like really successful, well-raised children. They do a lot. Even this morning, I was on a call with my friend Kayla and the husband Mavs, and they were just sharing about their lives and how they're living life as a couple. Man, Kayla does a lot. And you know what she realized is despite all the work she's doing at home, what was missing for her is feeling proud that she get, because as mom you think, oh, that's just who you are.
Yeah,
I'm just a
true.
mom. As if you don't have anything to contribute. But as a mom, you have such a crucial role in raising someone, a future leader who's going to make a difference out there in the community. Like what you were saying about your mom. And look at you, look at Amy. She's like a leader. And I think you also started a community called Jollywell.
Yes,
Do you want to
Jollywell.
talk a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
about
Not
that?
Jollibee.
What's with the Jollywell?
I love, yeah. I wanna hear
I'm getting
more about
hungry.
Yeah,
We're on a calorie,
Yeah,
sorry.
so Jollywell, it combines the words Jollibee and then well-being, and it's a well-being page where Filipino and Filipino Australians, they can express their stories or reflections about what the society has done for them, the Filipino society. And I noticed that there is sort of a gap between international and domestic students. So I wanted to bridge it and let people like learn from each other of, oh, like what is life in the Philippines, and is there like some sort of Filipino community that they can be a part of here. So that page is for people to like learn about each other, and it could also express how significant International Women's Day should be here. So Filipinos abroad can understand how that event is truly meaningful here too.
Wow.
That's wonderful. What were you doing in your 20s? Look at her. She's
Partying.
like bridging these communities, making a difference.
I know, right?
Okay, what were you doing in your 20s? Be honest.
What was I doing back then?
I was
Exactly.
like drowning myself in the alcohol.
I think I was still studying at U-Belt that time. Maybe I was partying
In college, you were partying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Partying, yeah. Actually, it's a different. I don't know. Like looking at the young people, right? Like now, they're very inspiring actually because
I
they're
know.
doing a lot of things. They're like,
Dude, Gen Zs are different.
Yeah.
They know, they
It's like
they do a lot.
I wish when I got in Australia, like there's like something, a community that I can, join and learn from them, but back then there wasn't, right?
Yeah.
or maybe I wasn't just aware or not searching.
The infrastructure wasn't there because if you look at today's world, most of the communities are built online. Whereas when we first moved to Australia like 15, 17 years ago, that was non-existent. I think we were using Friendster, or maybe Facebook was in the
What's
early,
Friendster?
or MySpace. Oh my
MySpace.
god. What year is that?
Did you know?
I have no.
Oh yeah.
You don't have any idea what that is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
guys.
Don't worry. It's revealing my age, but
It's kind of like Facebook version of us back then.
yeah, but cooler.
With the background music.
Is it
Yeah.
still?
No.
down. Yeah, they took it down. So I think sometimes we wish we were someone who's a bit more mature, open, and we were doing a lot of these leadership things. But like, there's a reason why we weren't that at our 20s.
Is micro learning already like
Not
existent.
that word didn't even exist in my vocabulary. So I think for you, Amy, doing what you do now with the Jolly Well and your volunteer work as a secretary at
Venice, yeah.
director of people for FSC or
Oh,
is it
Wow.
FSS.
Filipino
Yeah,
Student
yes.
Society.
Wow.
So actually, I think I met you at the Gunita Ball.
Yes.
I might have seen you like in passing, but I don't remember us like having a real chat.
Yeah.
But I saw these kids and I'm like, I wish I had this community, just like what Ging was saying, because I was like a lone ranger. Whereas look at them, there's like hundreds of them in one hall dancing and just they just look like they're having fun.
Exactly.
And they get to be involved and contribute to the community.
The food was good.
Oh yeah,
it was
yeah. There
good.
was they did like a full
Buffet.
catering buffet.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really
How
good.
come we didn't get invited?
Dude, we're so disciplined. We're counting our calories, so we can't.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, because
weren't
you don't
invited.
have the right connections. So you gotta you gotta network
Also
a bit
now-
more.
We know Amy now. Amy, invite
let
us
you
next
know.
time.
And I just wanted to add on that as well. Before, it's not like easy to get the knowledge on things. Unlike right now, like there's social media, there's Facebook. You can connect on everyone. who
Yeah,
you
chat
want to.
GPT, everything.
Chat GPT. But back then, what do you have to do? Like go to the library, search for it, to learn and stuff like that. But I think that's like one of the main difference why
Yeah.
it's easier to
Yeah.
build a community.
So, what was your inspiration for actually taking on leadership roles at such a young age?
Well, I would say like my mom again. She also was in like a lot of like leadership positions too. So I would say I was quite inspired by her taking on leadership and also stepping out of her comfort zone. So that's something I wanted to do as well. I want to step out of my comfort zone because I am quite a shy individual. I don't know if you guys can tell.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an introvert, but taking on leadership like director of people, it's interacting with the people. So yeah, it's sort of like my New Year's resolution, I guess. Yeah, just taking on as many leadership roles that I can. And it's important that those leadership roles is contributing something to the society too, because Vinny's giving back to community, Filipino society, you're building connections. So that's something I was very passionate about, giving back, being surrounded by beautiful people. So yeah, that's why I wanted to take on leadership roles.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
actually, yeah. Let's
100%.
stick. Yeah, I was like, what? I don't know what metrics we're using here. Yeah, 100%. That's really good. And what kind of leader do you aspire to be? What do you see? How do you see yourself leading? Let's just say in the next 2 to 5 years. Because I feel like she's got somewhere to go. Like she's going places. I
Exactly.
can see.
appreciate
At that
You're very
age,
driven.
she's doing a lot of things.
Because we weren't doing much at 20s yet.
Who knows? Maybe after.
But did you regret it? Like,
I don't
doing
think
nothing at all.
it's not. I don't think regret is the right word because, like, sure, like at 20s, you're supposed to experience life in being independent, partying. But there's a part of me that I wish someone just guided me a lot earlier. Maybe it would have opened a lot more opportunities for me down the road. I feel like I was just going through life blind. And you know how hard that is when you don't really know where you're going and yet you're expected to just do something. Just make things happen. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? And if you had asked me, hey, do you actually want to be mentored? And do you want to actually be shaped to be a future leader? I would have said, hell yeah, at 20s, because we all have it in us, but we just need someone to actually show us the ropes. Because when you're a leader, you're not just a leader in your community, you're a leader in your life,
Exactly.
in your family. And what you can achieve when you're a leader. Yeah, you can achieve anything, right?
Success.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be a leader because I just want to be famous and I just want everybody to like me. Yeah, it's not like that. So yeah, I feel like maybe there's a little bit of I wish things were better when I was growing up because I'm also a migrant. I moved here when I was 15. Had no idea how I'm supposed to live life in Australia. So I think having you here as our guest, it's inspiring for us for you to share like, hey, what sort of leader do you see yourself? What do you aspire to be like a couple of years from now?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Was the last one there?
Like in the future.
Yeah, I think say within the next 2 to 3 years, what kind of leader do you aspire to be?
Well, I think that when you think of leader, you think of like sort of like a hierarchy, like a very traditional hierarchy. But the way I see leadership is, like creating an inclusive environment for everybody. I think that leadership isn't just about directing people; it's about making people speak their voice. Because leaders like there might be only one person speaking, but I want to create that environment where everybody has their word, and everyone can like learn from each other, because you guys all have like different stories, different perspectives on things, and I think this podcast is like a very great way for everyone to just like express their stories.
Nice.
It's actually just want to give you a little bit of background of our podcast. It's actually we built this for giving women a platform to share their story, to inspire.
And that's great because I think when we started off the podcast, as you can already tell by the name, it's called the 1% Marites because the word Marites in the Filipino culture is like women who love chismis, gossip.
Gossip.
Yeah, and
Gossip
so
girls.
yeah, it's like kind of like gossip girls, yeah, XOXO. And so I think the reason why we also feature women as our guests is because we're women ourselves, and I think that's just us gravitating to other empowered women. And we have been talking about actually opening up the podcast to just any individual that has any inspiring stories to share, because at the end of the day we're all human beings. And I get it, like with women we have very unique set of challenges, but underneath everything we're all human beings, and our struggles are shared struggles. They're not very like, we don't live in a vacuum. Like gender inequality, I'm sure there are males that experience that. Like back in the days they didn't have paternity leave. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
So like in the workplace they would actually give women time off from work because they need to take time off to like raise kids and just when they're getting pregnant, etc. I don't know when they've started implementing this, but now dads also get time off. That's why they call it paternity leave.
Wow.
Yeah, because back in the days, like if someone said to HR, to their boss, and they're a male, hey, I need time off to look after the kid. Like, why? Like, you're not the one carrying the baby. Like, why would you need time off? So this is the other side to inequality that sometimes we miss, or we don't put too much attention to. So it's also for us women, it's also important to look at the males in our lives, your brothers, your dads, your uncle, and have a conversation about, well, what are you struggling with? Simply because you're a male, like the expectation, the burden that they need to be the provider, that puts a lot of stress on them.
100%.
Yeah.
I also think that International Women's Day, maybe some people might think that like bringing men down or something like that, but it's more about like celebrating women, and like because there were a lot of issues with like female and male like achieving equality, but this day it signifies like the women in like historically and present, all the women that have
Yeah, fought for our rights.
for
Yeah.
rights, and it's important to for us to like not bring like male down on this day and just appreciate this day.
Yeah. I think there are some groups that can really take this movement to the extreme
Yeah.
where it's not about celebrating women, but it's like, no, we gotta dominate. It's like, female domination.
Actually, I
Bring
heard that.
men
I heard that
down.
at work.
Yeah.
Like it's about women.
Like, oh, you
you
have
make it
to
about
like
the
cool, clean. No, like it's just about remembering this day.
So, what does empowerment mean to you? And how do you practice that daily?
Well, I think empowerment is to do with like your self-worth. It's I would say how I practice empowerment is sort of like going to the gym or like doing something that's like challenging like the stereotype of women. And I guess that sort of I sort of want to challenge that stereotype because I remember going to the gym and then I was sort of like practicing like kickboxing and then my instructor was like, I didn't like you don't look like the person that to do those type of things. So then that comment sort of made me want to do it even more. So like I felt like more empowered to do things that are challenging the stereotype of women.
Did you kick his butt?
I wish, but no, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so just doing your self-care routine
self-care.
and health and well-being. Great. What about you? How do you practice empowerment daily?
Yeah, like Amy said, like going to the gym, it empowers you to be yourself. The confidence you build when you're working out, and you see the progress, it empowers you. And at work, I just actually do my best every day, work hard every day. That empowers me as well to inspire people. It like showing up. Yeah, that's how I empower myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
And
like
it's kind of build up all the confidence like what I have now. Like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I can also hear that you say yes to things that typically a woman would say no to at work, like forklifting. I mean, how
Yeah.
many women do you know
who does that?
who does forklifting?
It's not actually no, Hazel does that
Yeah,
too.
well, there's two of you that I know.
No, but what I'm saying is just keep learning. Women are capable of doing a lot of things. We're just scared of like because as women you think you can't do it. I proved that already. Yeah, different industries like a lot of women you can see now in the construction industry. So yeah, we are capable of doing things.
Yeah, I think definitely in Australia, I've discovered that there are so many government funded initiatives to open up opportunities and access for women, like to enter aviation.
Oh yeah, true.
Construction, like male dominated. I've not really seen this in the Philippines, so which is part of the reason why I think it's a lot easier is because here in Australia for women to enter those kinds of industry is because there are government initiatives that just gives them that access in the tools. There's so many free programs here in Australia. It's crazy. If you just looked online, there's a lot. There's even non-for-profits like Dress for Success. I love them because you can actually get free styling. You can get free clothes to look professional in your job interviews and you don't have to spend money. It's all free. They dress you up. They give you bags, accessories, shoes. They offer you free online trainings and webinars, salary negotiation, looking for jobs. building confidence,
That's
discovering who
really
you
cool.
are. I'm like, where do you find these resources? Unless you really do the looking, you're just gonna think life is unfair. I don't have
Yeah, true.
access.
It start with you talaga.
You
Like,
gotta do
it
the
start
work
with
as
you.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because if actually, how do you say it? Like, if you do like research and stuff, like you're curious, or yeah, build your confidence to do a lot of things. It's actually, there's so many things that you can put yourself into, in a good way, not in a bad way, and
Yeah.
it gives you the growth.
Yeah, that's why I say, like what Kat told me before, like if you really just invest in your self development, you know, you could you could get a lot of things from that. Because I believe, like what I've previously mentioned to one of my friends through our conversation, it's like the opportunity doesn't come to you. Like you have to work for it. And sometimes, even if you don't work hard for it, when you have that something in you that you learn from the self development that you did, you attract that. Not only that success, but people around who resonates with you, people who can help you and guide you into being a successful person. And it's really kind of a good thing. And there's this thing that I've heard recently from someone who's, I forgot his name, but he is a speaker. It's sometime in 1970s, I think. So there was an interview. So he was asked something about being a hard worker. Like if you work hard, would you be successful? Something like that. So that was the question. And that was one of the things that the answer that he told the interviewer is that you can work hard. Working hard, you earn the money. But if you really want to have more, than what you are earning, you have to improve yourself. And you cannot get that by just, working hard.
Yeah.
It's just like you're upgrading what you upskill.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the success that you want to achieve in life.
I think I know the guy you're talking about. Can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Is it Jim Rohn?
I think so.
Oh, yes.
See?
I love Jim Rohn. Yeah. It's so true because I think have you been investing in your personal development?
Of course.
Yeah. That's why. And that's how you practice being empowered, like really not just investing, but doing the work. You can enroll in whatever course you want, but there's actually work involved. Like after you register for a course, like the breakthroughs and the learnings and discoveries, they don't just come to you unless you actually do the work. Kind of like what we're doing in the Kaizen program. So the body transformation journey that we're doing for 100 days. Yeah, you can pay your money, enroll, but what are you going to do in that 100 days? Are you going to work out? Are you going to eat right? Are you going to follow the program, or you're just going to do it your own way?
And sometimes you will not be a perfect person. Like after you did that self-development program, you will be perfect. No, it's still a good practice to, still reflect on yourself and surround yourself with people who you resonate to, who has the same mindset. Because sometimes when you're getting out of the lane, they will try to get you back on track. And it's really a great help.
Yeah. That's great.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's true that when you're working on yourself, you attract people successful people that they can see it from you that you're working hard on yourself. And then they wanna actually, let me help you out. Let me, it's kind of like it's falling everything into place, right? Like working on yourself, doing this, doing that. It's the same as me. Like when I started working on myself at like work, they can see it. Like, Mary's like, she's driven, let me help her get into that position. You're attracting it. It's true.
Or they give you the opportunities
They give you the
because they see that you can do it.
The potential.
Yeah, the potential. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know about you, Amy, but have you been doing a lot of leadership trainings or personal development that would accelerate your growth or equip you with the knowledge and skills that you need for the future as you embark on your leadership journey?
Um, like the different skills.
Yeah, like have you experienced or have you been doing a lot of leadership trainings or just personal development courses?
Um, yeah, I would say like the leadership roles that I've mentioned about. I put that into practice. Actually, Jollywell wasn't a initiative that was started by like the Filipino society. It was like started by me of like just seeing like the issues that are involved, and um I think taking initiative is a trait that I will apply when like I graduate, because like doing like leadership roles, it's important to like take initiative and start something. um it's good to continue something that has sprouted, but it's also good to start something like this podcast, for like the future generation, to continue. um you know you might want to pass it down to
Like
like,
a
someone
legacy.
else.
Leaving a
Yeah, I'll pass it to
legacy.
my grandchildren.
Yeah, and like build on that like legacy.
Oh, yeah. It's true. Legacy.
Oh, it's a big
Are we there?
word. Yeah, I don't know. We've only been podcasting really for less than a year. But I love her idea of leadership, like someone that takes initiative, because you do want to make things happen, but sometimes it's just up to you. Because when you have an idea or you have a vision, you try to share that with people, but they don't see what you see. And they're like, oh, I'm too busy. I can't really help right now. Or show us what you can really do. And then maybe if it proves to work, then maybe we'll come and help you out. Did you experience that with Jollywell when you're starting out? Did you get a lot of support or did you have to prove that it's working and you're onto something?
So yeah, it was very hard starting out. I first asked like the president, which is Christian. He actually was the one that helped me to start out this the Jolly Well, and you know getting in submissions like is hard, like for people to contribute, because the page is like run by the people for the people, and that's like sort of like the motto we have. And yeah, it was just hard getting content from people. And yeah, just starting out was very tough. And you have to sort of communicate with people about like your vision. And I guess before, maybe people didn't understand like the purpose of the channel. And now that like it's sort of gaining more exposure to like the Filipino community and like the reason why it's there, I think when people know the reason why, they start to contribute. And yeah, because people need to know like the purpose of why it all started.
Yeah, that's so inspiring. And I think you've also experienced getting involved in different initiatives. Was there any particular initiative that was designed to really support women or help make progress in women, like I don't know, like maybe women dominated communities or anything like that? Or maybe you supported a cause, like even like sometimes you just donate. That's just you
Yeah.
showing that yeah, I support
Yeah.
this
Or participated
charity.
in
Yeah.
anything.
Me being a part of Vinny's, like we offer a lot of volunteering opportunities for students. And but to be honest, with particularly women, this is sort of my starting point that like I wanted to take on, because it's started by women, started by you guys. So just being on this podcast was like a start for me to like produce content for you guys, because I know it's hard generating content, and you know, because it's International Women's Day today, and just producing, just being here and producing content with you guys was my start in something like an initiative.
We're
really
special.
happy that we became part of that,
Yeah.
start moment.
But I
Yeah.
do wish that I did contribute more, like on this day, like with relation to women, because as I said before, I'm guilty of like not celebrating it as often.
You can start contributing by telling us your skincare.
Every guest that we have, I know, like last time. Yeah, why is it that the people that we guest here, they have really good skin? Hey,
You guys have good skin too.
Yeah. Young blood.
Huh?
Young blood.
Akala ko sabi niya yummy.
Young blood.
Sorry, my
Young
pitch.
blood. Yeah. Yeah.
Young blood.
Yeah, we've
been
gone through a lot of stress. We've gone through a lot. That's why.
Sorry,
Breakout.
just one of the most important questions. I might forget it if I don't ask this now. What is your Korean name?
Oh, I don't have a Korean name actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
just Amy.
what do they call you in Korea?
Amy.
Amy. Oh,
Or you just say like Amy. Like that's like
Amy.
Amy. Lucky me.
Amy.
Amy.
감사합니다, Amy. Like that.
Galing mo doon.
Right. You know what? In my current job, our manager is Amy as well. She's a Korean. I don't know where in Korea, but in somewhere in South. Yeah.
Or south, not from the north.
Yeah, she always speaks to someone from Korea, and then I feel like I'm listening to a K-drama. Whenever they talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her name is Amy as well. Her Korean name is Chongra, I think.
Chongra.
Chongra. Chongra. Like that.
Isn't
But that's
that a
not
character from Squid Game? Squid. I love Squid Game.
Oh my god. There's another one coming.
Yeah.
Season, what's the season?
The third
Season
one.
two. Third
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I hope it's
Ooh,
the
excited.
episode 8. Episode 8 is not there. It's just up until 7.
Do you know that Filipino are very fond of Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drama.
die-hard K-pop fans.
Oh my god.
K-drama.
K-drama.
Oh, K-drama.
Skincare.
Skincare, true.
Yeah.
I'm actually using what's the
Innisfree.
Innisfree?
Oh,
that's
Is it
Korean.
Innisfree. Innisfree, yeah. It's Korean brand.
Yeah.
Actually,
Is it good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, look at her face. Yeah.
It wasn't like this before. It was like acne everywhere. You can see.
Yeah.
There's no room for,
For growth.
room for growth. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually
kidding,
very
bro.
empowering when you have really good skincare routine and you feel like, because when you talk to someone, the first thing that they look at is not your bank account.
Is your pores.
it's your like how big are your pores, your pores, or like your skin. So I recommend every single woman to invest in facial care, getting your facial massage, and investing in good products. Like I use
Clothes.
L'Occitane.
Clothes, yeah.
Yeah,
L'Occitane.
invest in good clothes. Yeah, I use L'Occitane because it's very gentle on the skin, and it's got like that nice like perfume fragrance.
Out of topic, sorry. I think I have to add that on my habit tracker.
Skincare.
Oh my god.
So I don't tend to forget because I was doing it before, but I stopped.
Yeah, you're gonna take fish oil too.
It
and,
takes too much
ginkgo.
time.
Collagen.
More than 20 minutes for the 12 steps.
12 steps.
Wow.
Wow, you've been brainwashed. You don't need 12 steps,
I
girl.
know. It isn't even effective.
It's not. I think I'm
No, just
I'm-
kidding.
Yeah, up to 3, I'm good. I can't do anything more than 3 steps.
Time is gold.
Yeah, I'm actually way too busy for that. Yeah, so
Okay,
oh
going
my
back.
god, that's really good. And so what sort of progress do you see or would you like to see 5 to 10 years from now?
I would say, as I said, initiatives. I think that, you know, you have initiatives like, I know there's like campaigns on like, I don't know if you heard it, but like Run Like a Girl. It's
Run like a girl.
Hashtag run like a
yeah,
girl.
hashtag Run Like a Girl. Like initiatives like that, I think I want to see more of in the future. If you don't know what like hashtag Run Like a Girl is, it's basically where you got like participants, and then someone says, "Oh, run like a girl," and then they do all these like soft movements, or like
Run like
they or like catch like a girl, and then they miss it or something like that. Yeah, and then I was also naive that like it looks like that. Like I didn't really question about it, but then when I realized that, you know, there were younger participants like primary school students, and they told them like run like a girl, and then they run like properly. They run as fast as they could. They yeah, as fast as they can, and initiatives like that, yeah, I want to just see more of, because I was also silly to think that that's how like a girl should run or a catch. Yeah.
What is it? I'm curious.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would-
it's like an
yeah.
expression. Like, when you watch films and movies, and when you say, "Oh, like she's like you hit like a girl," like you hit, like you can't even
Like you're weak.
hit someone. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like it's like weak. It's soft. There's no power. It kind of just makes you a bit like less superior.
Yeah.
Because
Less
when
of
a
a
man,
human
yeah,
being.
when a man hits, it's like straight with force, with power. But when you punch like a girl, it's like
Like, oh, like when someone hits you, like, oh, like you hit like a girl, like,
yeah, like it doesn't even
oh.
hurt. It's kind of like you're
Yeah.
just knocking. It's not even like a real.
You never like
Punch.
no one like said
No,
like, oh,
I never heard that before.
Well, now you know.
now.
Hit like a girl. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You must have heard of it. Maybe it's just it's like in the subconscious, but we've all heard and seen this in films, in movies, right?
Okay. Well, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So you would like to you actually want to support initiatives, or maybe create initiatives.
Yeah, like something like that. I think we should just have more awareness on issues like that. And like just form new ideas on like campaigns or projects. I think you mentioned like the different projects that the government
Yeah,
support.
they're funding it. Yeah.
Those initiatives. And I also heard that there's like a minimum representative rate on like companies. They do like 40% represent of like male and female, like that's like the minimum requirement of like the percentage of men and women they should have in the workforce. I think also things like that, it will be good for companies, because I know that Samsung also it's because Samsung is to do with IT. So I heard from like a colleague that I know that works at Samsung. They are trying to look for more women to enter the workforce in the IT. So actually she told me to apply as also. So yeah, like those sort of initiatives and projects I think are important to instill, not only today but in the future too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's really I
We're
think
taking over.
yeah, yeah. Like why can't it be like 70% female, 30%?
Diminishing men.
Let's go. Take over.
Yeah, no, that's really great, and I think we definitely have a long way to go. And it always starts with awareness, because if you just decide to be indifferent with matters that don't impact you, at least not right now, you will always think that, oh, it's not up to me. You always have people that are more passionate. They have more time. Let them drive the agenda forward, or at least let them take that big leap for us, and then you're just piggybacking off that. It's like you don't want to do the work, but you want the benefit. Like I never had to fight for my life in order to vote. But there are women that have had to risk their
yeah.
lives to like do these protests, strikes, and some women sadly they have lost their lives just to because they believed in the
Yeah.
future that one day women will be allowed to work. One day women will be allowed to be in the driver's seat of their career. One day women will get paid equally to men. So it's that's why I feel like women are so powerful, and at the same time like we have that in us as well. Like we all have the ability to make a difference. And that's very inspiring, Amy. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe we'll catch you up in a couple of years time, because like you never know, you might actually just end up hiring the three of us. Like you want to build your empire. You want to be an entrepreneur. Like, girl, happy to work for you.
You've got an accountant, sales, marketing.
You've got like a full team over here. So yeah, we really do say that you have like a really bright and future, and we're not just saying that because we like you as a person, but it's
She said, of course, yeah.
like,
So she will get us, guys.
but it's also because how when you say you're introverted, like introverts are like the most thoughtful people. Like they really do think about the issues and they don't just jump into solutions. They're not biased for action. They actually think things through. How do I know this? Because I'm an introvert too.
So true. They've got a lot of time to
I'm
think.
introverted.
Do you know
too.
that I'm introvert as well?
Are you?
Now,
What's introvert?
Are you introverted? Would you consider yourself?
I don't know. Ambivert. Ambivert, yeah.
in the
Sometimes
middle.
I'm
Have we
introvert.
done like the personality test?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Which one?
I'm the Myers-Briggs. The Myers-Briggs test. Oh,
Like it's the 10 personality. You're like, it gives you like I if you're like introverted, and then E
exactly.
if
I
you're
have
extro-
I. Yeah, I have I on my
I haven't
personality
tried.
test.
I haven't.
It's a lot of questions, but it's worth taking. But I already know I'm introverted, and there's even a book by Susan Cain called "The Power of Introvert in a World That Cannot Stop Talking." It's a really good book, and I have like this it's like daily read on like an introvert's diary, where you kind of just flick a page every day, and you kind of just read something about how do you just live life as an introvert. Like I'm so introverted. That's why I kind of get how you feel. Yeah. But here we are. Being introverted, it's just another
Yeah.
label. Doesn't stop you from actually pursuing
So
what you
true.
want.
Yeah, sure. That's why, it's part of it that we created this podcast to be out there, even though like, you're introvert or because I'm the same. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to like show myself like you. Like I don't want to be in the camera. I don't want to be the light. But it's different when I'm in the podcast, because I don't know. There's something about the podcast that actually giving me the confidence to speak out and being me.
Yeah. That's great. What about you, Pao? Anything to add?
What can I add there? Like,
Oh, it's
Being
just
an
because we
introvert.
were talking about labels, and sometimes as women we get labeled a lot of things, and sometimes those labels get in the way of you just
Being
going
you.
full out.
yeah, I don't know.
Like you're
I think
introverted, you're too much, you're too chatty, you're too quiet, you're too this, you're too that. Do you have that kind of
no. I think I don't really care. Doesn't really matter. I mean, because if you always like think about what other people tells you, like you can't do anything. You'd always be cautious. You'd always be anxious. Like who are they to stop you to do whatever you like doing? As long as you're the kind of person who doesn't really hurt other people, just do you And,
You do
and be,
you.
I do me, you do you, and we all be happy. Jolly, be happy, well. Something like that. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing more that I can add to it, but it's just that, like what I've mentioned earlier, invest in your self development, learn more as much as you can, upskill, and like what
Jim Rohn.
Jim
Yeah.
Rohn said, you will own the world.
Yeah. Oh my God, that just
Own
gave
the
me
world.
chills. You own the world.
We own
run
the world.
Girls are.
Wait, isn't it like Beyonce's "Run the World"?
I mixed both of them. You know.
Yeah, you can tell she's very empowered. She's like, no, it's not enough to run the world. I want to own the world. That's my oyster.
Yeah, true.
Okay, well, that's really great. And we are very close to wrapping up. So, usually we'd like to just say one takeaway from today's episode, whether it's something that you learned or something that inspired you, or even a message to our listener. We can start this way.
Yeah, well dancing.
Yeah. Clockwise.
Why clockwise?
Huh?
Clockwise.
We'll start with you, beautiful, empowered person.
One takeaway is that, yeah, so for me, a takeaway that I can get from out of this conversation is that women are really powerful. You know, we can do a lot of things, and it's just a great thing to be a woman, because not all women, I mean, not all people really thinks about that. Like, since, you know, you're a woman, you can't lift heavy, you can't, you know, do stuff that men can do. But it's actually not that. You know, just share just a little bit, because we've been going to the gym for like more than a month now. I don't know how many times you go to the gym, guys, but I go like 3 to 4 times a week. And previously, I really never thought that I could like do a hip thrust of 80 kilograms. Because before, it's really hard for me to like lift 20 kilograms. So yeah, it's something that sometimes you think that only men can do that, you know, but with hard work, with, you know, just putting your mind into it, you can really do anything. Well, yeah, that's just one of my takeaways, and all I can maybe tell women, all of the women out there, one advice that I can tell you guys is that don't limit yourself to what you currently have. As I've said before, if you really want to achieve success, invest in your development, learn more things, learn a lot of things as much as you can when you're still alive, when you still have the energy, you know, and use that learning to help out other people so we can pull each other up. That's it. Thank you.
Vote Pao for president.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. What about you, Ging? Are you like writing a speech there? What's going on?
For me, I got really inspired by Amy. Like, yeah, like witnessing like young people like Amy breaking the barriers as, you know, women, showing what's possible, you know, like women can, yeah, like I said earlier, like women are capable of doing a lot of things, leadership, you know, like before I didn't actually realize that women can be a leader, women can, you know, can be successful in any different part of, you know, like a company or whatever. But yes, I think seeing that or witnessing that, it's really inspiring, and hopefully or most young people do the same, or women do the same, like go out there, experience things, you know, don't limit yourself for, like sometimes you're not believing in yourself that you're capable of, just go out there, experience it, and
Show them what you've
show
got.
them, show them what you got.
Just do
Show
it.
your muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, flex it, flex.
Yeah, because I think that's what I want to share, because I'm the same. I'm like showing them that whatever the company throws at me, I can do it. I just like, try it. Okay, give it a go.
And
Like,
ask for a pay raise.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget the pay rise, because it's super important. Yeah.
and inspire people, inspire them that you can do it. That's it.
Just do it, Nike.
Nike, just do it.
Well,
Okay,
thank you
Amy's
for
turn.
that. I just want to say that, I'm right now I'm hearing like you guys are like inspired by me, but I'm actually inspired by you guys for even like just starting this podcast and just listening to your stories. Like, I think I'm more inspired now from like the challenges that you're partaking in, like the fitness challenges, and just making, because I know that like you all have like busy schedules, so just fitting in the time and creating like a purpose for this channel. I think it's just really inspiring how you want to start this channel to inspire others. So yeah, I think just keep doing what you guys are doing, and I really do hope that you invite like plenty of other influential figures, maybe even celebrities.
Wow.
Maybe
Next
Beyonce
manifest.
or something.
Next year.
Yeah.
Manifesting.
Yeah. So yeah, manifesting.
Yeah. Actually, I wanna get Bretman Rock as our guest.
You're gonna fly him all the way from Hawaii.
First male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that we are all for people. Like, we're not limiting ourselves to just women. I think, as I've mentioned before, it's just who we gravitate to, because I think it's a lot easier to connect with women. But if there are male friends of ours that would like to guest, or if you know other people that are interested to share, we'd love to, hear their stories too.
What about like couples?
Oh yeah,
Why not?
as long as they don't fight on set. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't know what to do, guys. I think shut it down, shut it down. Yeah, that's great.
What about you, Kat?
Yeah, thank you, Amy. I think that it's very rare for me to be guesting someone who I've only just met over the phone. So to give you a bit of background, I've only really spoken to Amy once on the phone when we had that 30-minute chat, just to... That was the first time we hopped on the call. And then we've just been texting and updating. Yeah, because, I feel like we want guests to come here because they want to. And so that was an important part of guesting. Because only then can you really shine and share. And I'm glad that it only really took 30 minutes for me to say, I think, Amy, you're perfect for this, because she's, again, her identity is so unique, right? Korean, Filipino, Australian born, doing all different crazy things, starting initiatives, volunteering, getting involved in community project, while studying at uni at 20.
Yeah.
I don't really meet people like that, at least not in this day and age of like just me being surrounded by people that are a lot older than me.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the one, just like 1% of that you will find.
Exactly. So we're very grateful for you. And I'm also inspired by you and everyone, because we've just been working so hard on ourselves daily. I know it's not always obvious because you don't really post everything you do online. People maybe get like glimpse of it, like microseconds of your life, but they don't see what's really going on underneath. And for me, even women, just any women or any person that chooses to confront the things that are hard to deal with and really believing that you can make a change. You are not fixed.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make progress, to even start with that belief that we are not fixed. But it starts with that choice and that decision that we are going to partake in this movement to move forward. Because the theme for this year is actually March Forward.
March for
Every year they come up with a different theme.
contribution.
And how beautiful is that? It's 2 words, but it just paints you like this vision of what life could be, not just for women, but just for everybody, like everyone just marching forward. So, and I'm grateful for this podcast as well, because I was never really that outspoken like Amy. I'm introverted. And to be frank, I don't actually like sharing my perspective, especially because you can get criticized and judged. But this is not about us. This is really about the lives that we can reach and inspire.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So, and Amy has
100%.
been really generous with her time, and you've been
Yes,
so
thank you so
generous
much.
with
Thank you so
sharing
much.
your
Thank you for
experience.
inviting me.
I hope we can plan how we can plan out maybe future collaborations with Jolly Will.
Jelly will.
And now that I think we're all friends now, right? So feel free to reach out
Now
to us.
now
on
I can
social
follow
media.
her on social media because I'm trying to like hold myself like, okay, hang on, I haven't we haven't met, like I don't want to be like a stalker.
Is that an
stalker
Instagram?
mode.
Instagram.
Hey, Instagram.
Okay.
Is
Instagram or
Is it ate the word?
Ate.
Ates?
ates? Titas.
Actually, more like you can call us sis.
Sister. Sister Rakas. ganun.
I don't mind. Actually, when I get called ate, at first I cringe. She's like, "Am I really that old?" But it's like I've earned it.
Instead
man.
of being called tita, I'd rather.
I like calling. I like
Yeah,
ate.
I prefer ate.
Not a tita. You
No, I'm used to like because my nephews call me tita. Tita tagging, tagging.
Yeah.
It's funny.
All
but
right.
yeah.
Well, thank you, and I hope
Amy, thank
we can all
you.
catch up at some other time. And thanks everyone for spending your time. Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And I hope that there's at least one thing that you took away from today's episode. And I hope that you can all be empowered and take action and march forward.
So if you guys want to listen to more of our gossiping with a lot of learnings, please do subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube accounts. We are the 1% Marites here in Sydney, your number 1 source of chismis, word spreading.
Peace.
Yeah. Gossiping. Oh, I love that. Gossiping with so much.